Alright, alright. I have to make a video. I do. I have to. Okay. I wanted to discuss a little more about our current hay acquisition problems that we've been having. And just as a warning for this video, I'm going to say hay a lot of times. A lot of times today. A lot of times. So this year is a little different than years past, and I wanted to talk about that. In a normal year, we would have the hay already bought. It would be stocked up. We would just grab what we needed as we needed it. And we would slowly work our way through that until springtime came around, and where we would start doing our rotational grazing again like normal once the grass came up. However, this year was very different in that our region suffered a pretty severe drought. Instead of the farmers and ranchers that normally produce hay around here being able to do what they normally would, most either had one cut of hay or didn't cut hay at all and ended up feeding their cattle on what was on the ground. And that caused a huge issue in terms of getting hay shipped here is one problem. But the other problem is the people who normally would be producing their own hay in this area are now having to buy hay and have it shipped in. So everyone is trying to buy the same hay that's not here that has to be shipped in. So the competition went through the roof. And what also went through the roof was the prices. So this year we're paying double, and sometimes more than double, what we paid last year for each bale of hay that we purchase. It's taken us many years to find a quality hay dealer or hay broker or hay distributor. I have two people that we work with. And I will say if you've never had livestock or understand the ins and outs of what quality hay is, it is a big deal. Because buying quality hay can mean the difference between having healthy animals versus sick animals. It's really that kind of a difference. So I'm happy to say we have two people that we work with all the time to make sure our animals have the best quality possible. Now, the other side of that is having the quality hay available to purchase is a whole nother ballgame. So them being able to get in hay that we need has been difficult, and we basically buy hay every week now instead of having it stocked up like we would really like to have going into the winter. So we've been kind of mixing and matching and trying out some new hay products that we haven't used in the past. We've also gone back to some that we have used and had bad experiences, but we're now getting a better quality of that hay, so that's been helpful too. It's kind of been a mix and match kind of game on what's available to purchase this week, and we're going to buy that and then hope that the goats will eat it. Meh. I don't even know what that is. So today we picked up 3 different types of hay. There is coastal Bermuda hay, Bahia hay, which is a Bahia grass, and then peanut hay. The coastal Bermuda hay, or what we just call coastal, is kind of our go-to hay. That's what we normally feed all the time, each winter. It is good and reliable. The goats love it. We also feed that to our horses. It seems to last a good while when the goats are eating it. That's our main concern, is how fast are the goats going to eat it, and then we have to buy more. So the coastal, it's a good forage, good for them. We provide other supplements as well for them to kind of balance everything out, but never had really any issues with the coastal hay. The Bahia hay is a little different type of grass. And it's fertilized, this particular batch is fertilized with chicken litter, and that just means that chicken litter is a good source of nitrogen for farmers to use as an alternative for the chicken droppings. Instead of just tossing that away, they can reuse it on their grasses instead of having to purchase other nitrogen sources. And we've tried Bahia before from a different provider, and the goats did not like it. They ate some of it, but most of it they wouldn't touch Goats are particularly picky, despite what most people think about goats, how they can eat anything, they eat everything. Goats can be very particular on what they want to eat, and in that case, they didn't want it. It didn't work out. But we're gonna try it again because it's available, and we need to have them eat something. So we're gonna see if they will like this batch different. It actually looks different than the previous version. The ones we bought before was a much darker color. This is more kind of a light tan brownish hue to it. I'm not sure. I don't know a whole lot about Bahia grass. I know it's a good foraging grass, but I don't really know the ins and outs of it like I do when I'm familiar with coastal hay. So we're going to see a little trial. Hopefully they will like it and we can buy some more because there's another truckload coming in. So that would be very beneficial. So we're crossing our fingers on that. The other hay that we picked up today, we've been feeding for a while now, is peanut hay. And I've kind of talked a little bit about that before in a previous video. The goats really love peanut hay. It's very tasty. So much so that they eat it about 2 to 3 times faster than they do the other types of hay. And I think that's a couple points to that. Just the palatability of it is much higher. And they also digest it really quickly, it seems. Goats are foragers, so they like to have variety in their diet. Grasses kind of slow them down a little bit, whereas the peanut hay is a more leafy material. There's a goat that just walked in here. You can't make this stuff up. I mean, just look over here. What? You know, you leave the door open, just get some fresh air. Here comes Molly. She's gonna just join us, I guess. Back to peanut hay. It's very tasty. The goats love it, but they eat it super fast. And it's not cheaper too much than versus like a coastal hay bale, so we kind of just run through the funds when we're buying peanut hay, even though it's super healthy, really good for them, and they really love it. I think that's about it for today's hay talk. I'm sure we'll be discussing this more as we acquire other types of hay, maybe a little refresher. But now I've got to go feed more animals, including Molly here, who's taken it upon herself to find some bits of feed that have fallen into the shed. Oh well, here we go. What are you even looking for? Do you even know?